Hello and welcome to today's session on Google Sites. Today's session is going to take us through the beginning stages of creating a site for yourself or a site that you can create with your students, and they can create sites on their own. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is open a new tab and go to sites.google.com. Sites.google.com is going to take you to actually the home of old Google Sites, or as they call it, classic Google Sites. We really want new Google Sites, which can be found down here on the left-hand side of the nav bar. And you can click once on new Google Sites, or you can also enter in sites.google.com/new. And when you enter that in, you're going to end up at the same place, which is the location with a red plus sign to create a new site. We're going to roll down to the right-hand side, click once on create a new site. When the new site comes up, you're going to see that it's got your page title right there in the front. Off to the right, you'll see some different options, how we can start adding content into our pages, how we can add new pages, and even change the theme, so change the look of our site. The first thing I'm going to do is enter a site name right here up on the left-hand side, and I'm going to call it Baker's World. And then I'm going to click right up here at the top, and it's going to auto-populate with Baker's World, which is the title of my overall page. And then I'm going to name this page The World. And as you can see, as I'm typing in this box, we have some choices right above what we can do with this text. I can add a link to this text. I can justify the text, or right over here where it says title, this is a drop-down menu, and it allows me to change the world to normal text, a heading, or a subheading. So if this were normal text, I'll show you what heading and subheading looks like, but I'm going to leave it as a title. Also, as I'm hovering around, you can see down on the left-hand side right here, I can change the image or header type. The header type is going to be a simple title, which is the world only, or it's going to be a banner, which is what we were viewing just a moment ago, or a large banner. That's going to take up about half the page. I'm going to stick with banner right now for my opening home page. This is considered my home page right now. And I'm going to go over here to themes right now and see if I can change the theme. I have some different themes to choose from. I can go with impression, change all this could do is change that line underneath, but I can change the font style. There's a couple different font styles available: capital, narrow, only two in this particular theme. Let's check out level, different font styles. I have sans, slab, and narrow once again. And up here in vision, I can change the colors, or I can change the font, modern or classic. And I kind of like this with the band up top, because you'll see in a moment what that's going to allow us to do is when we add pages, those pages are going to appear right up here in this blue band. So I'm going to leave the blue band. It's going to make the rest of our lesson a little easier to see. And then now, before I leave this home page, I'm going to change the image. Although this woodwork with a pine cone is nice, it's not really indicative of the world or what I really want the world to look like. So I'm going to go down here and change image. I can upload an image, or I can select an image I've already made. If you went through my Google Drawings session, you were able to learn how to make a header, and that header can be stored in your Google Drive. You don't have to make a header. Any of these you can switch in pretty quickly by just selecting it, and it will change the look of your page. And once again, I found that by just going to selecting image, and I can pick an URL, I can search, or I can go to my Google Drive. In my Google Drive, I know down here in my Google Drive images for PD, I created a header already for the world. I'm just going to choose that. And if you remember, the header is 800 by 200 pixels if you're creating a drawing. You could also put text on this if you want some text in addition to what you're getting in Google Sites. I'm just going to click on this, hit select. And what it's doing right now is it's actually changing my image to make the readability a little bit easier. That happens automatically. That's what these little stars down here in the bottom will do. It'll take your image and adjust it so that it fits in nicely with the text. I can reset it at this point. I can change the image if I don't like it, or I can move on. For me, I'm just going to move on. Right now, I'm going to add just a little text down here. And to add text, I can either go to insert over here on the left side of this box, or I can just double click where I want to add the text. When I double click, I get this wheel of options. And in the center of the wheel, I can add text. And so I'm just going to add countries of study. Simple. And the text is the same way as we talked about before. I can have normal text. I can have it be more like a title, a heading, or a subheading. I'll give you a heading right there. I'm going to justify this and center the text in the middle. If I wanted to add a link, I could easily add a link to this by just inserting a link. Or if I want to start over, throw it in the trash can. Now I've got countries of study in there. I'm going to double click again. And now I'm going to add an image. And the image I'm going to add, I can do URL, I can search, I can pull it from my Google Drive. So this time I'm doing a search, and I'm going to look for a globe. These are images that are free, and you do not have to cite the sources on the images that you're pulling in here. They are already royalty-free images. I'm going to search for a globe, and I like this one with the children around the world. I'm just going to grab that one, click on it one time, throw that in there. And now I have a few other options that are appearing right now. They appeared automatically. I have a trash can. I can insert a link. I can crop or I can uncrop this image if I want to eliminate some part of the image. Or under these three dots, I can replace the image, or I can add alternative text. Adding alternative text is designed for people that might have a visual have visual problems being able to see what's on the website, and this allows you to add some text. So my alternative text here is going to be children around the globe. And so I was able to add that alternative text. Now my mouse is sitting right on the globe. I'm going to left click one time and you can see I can now move this image. I have some guidelines to help me. I'm going to move it right into the center here and drop it. I like that. If I want to change the background, over here on the left side, there's a palette. And if I click once on this palette, it allows me to add different colors for emphasis. It would allow me to add an image to the background, but I'm going to leave this regular because I like the look of this. And you'll also see these little dots. This little panel of dots allows me to grab my image and slide it up. And I can switch places with countries of study. If I want to shuffle page parts around, I would use this little grab bar on the left-hand side. Now I've got my home page set up. I like it. And now I'm going to go over here and I want some additional pages to appear. All I have to do is click on pages. I see a plus sign to add a page. And the next page I'm going to add into my world is Russia. And as soon as I say done, you're going to see it appear right up here. Done. Actually, we went right to the Russian page. And if I go to banner, it's going to default to that look that we had earlier on. I'm going to have to add my globe to this if I want it to be that same picture. I'm adding another page. It's going to be North Africa. Done. Now you can see Russia shows up here, North Africa. I'm going to add another page. Europe. As soon as I hit done, you know where it's going to appear, right up there next to North Africa. Europe. And let's just add one more page. We're going to call this one Canada. As soon as I say done, it's going to show up there next to Europe. Boom, there it is. I'm going to spin home right now just by clicking on home. And remember, this is the one that I've already set up. Now I'm going to go to Russia, North Africa, Europe, Canada. If I wanted to add an image here behind Russia, I can, remember, change this image, select image, and I'm going to go to search, and I'm going to see if there is something, a Russian flag maybe. Oh, yeah. So any one of these I can choose. And I'm going to pick this one. And remember, this is adjusting automatically to give me the best visibility. And that's exactly what these stars would do. If you don't want it to change for readability, you can just click once on these and it will not adjust automatically. Let's go over to Canada. I'm going to do the same thing in Canada. Remember, change image. One click, down arrow, select image. I'm going to go to search, and I'm going to go Canadian flag. And this is kind of nice because it has Canada's flag in the shape of a map. I'm going to just throw that in there. I like that. Now I'm in Canada right now, and it's adjusting automatically for readability. I'm in Canada, and you can see my pages are listed over here on the right hand side. Let's say we're doing some different studies in Canada. I'm going to click once over here and look for create subpage. And my first subpage under Canada is going to be key terms. Done. It's going to show up right here under Canada because it is a subheading. And I'm going to create another subpage, and we're going to call this physical geography. Done. Once again, I'm going to set up subpage under Canada, and I'm going to call this one government. Done. And I'm going to set up one more under Canada, and that's going to be economy. Done. Across, I put Canada economy. I didn't make it a subpage. All I have to do is click and drag. And so I threw economy right in there. You'll notice across the top, home, Russian. I want this to be Russia, not Russian. North Africa. Oh, I have to change it over here. Rename page. And I need to rename this page Russia. Thanks for pointing that out. That makes better sense now. Russia, North Africa, Europe, and Canada. When I hover over Canada, you'll see my key terms, physical geography, economy, and government show up. If I want to work on one of those pages, physical geography, just click on physical geography. And remember, I just have to click down here in the main page. And I click down here in the main page and I get my wheel of options. I can throw a video in here. I can put something from my drive in here, which would be a slideshow. It could be a form. It could be a calendar. I can put an image in here, or I can put a URL in here. This URL is very handy. I'm going to just spin out here to youtube.com. YouTube, and we're going to put in something about Canada here. Canada geography. Canada geography for kids. And all about Canada for kids. There's 17 different videos. I'm going to go to this Geography Kids Canada. Just click on it, and I'm going to grab the link down here, share, grab this link, copy, take it back over to here, URL. What's the URL we want? We choose it. It drops that video right in. Remember the way we moved our image around on that first home page? I can do the same with this. I can slide it over here. I can center it. Or I could just keep it right here on the left-hand side. And on the right side, let's say I want to grab another Canadian video. Just open up that URL. I'm going back here to my Canadian choices and Canada for kids, my Canada. I'm going to grab this one, copy,
I just got news.
And go back to Baker's World, URL, paste it in there. Done. So now I have 2 videos that I'm going to highlight on physical geography page of Canada. The same way I put these videos in, just by double clicking, I can put something from my Google Drive in here, or I could put an image in here, or I could put some text in. I'm going to put some text in right now. Enjoy the videos. And I can make this normal text. I can bold it. I can bold this video. I can bold this text. I can move it to the center with my center justification. And I need it a little bit bigger. Enjoy the videos. Remember on the left-hand side, if I want to change the background a little bit for some emphasis, I can just change the background a little bit for emphasis. Up at the top, I can still navigate to any of my pages that I've created. Right above that, you'll see where I can add editors. One of the nice parts about Google Sites is it works just like everything else in the G Suite. I can have multiple people working on a website at one time. So if my students are working on a project, they could be designing the project in 4 or 5 different places around the room. And I've just added editors to that particular page. So it's a great collaborative tool. Right next to that, there's 3 dots. Behind that 3 dots, you can do a little tour of Google Sites, or this is also going to allow you to get to a help section. And also we have some site analytics telling you how many times your site has been hit. Just to the left, you'll see the eyeball, which is the preview eyeball. And if you click once on this, it will show you what your website's actually going to look like when someone pulls your website up on their own device. If they have a tablet, you can see what it's going to look like, or you can even look at what it's going to be when it's pulled onto a phone. So my site is going to look like this if someone uses their phone. Once I exit out of here, I'm going to go back to my page where I can edit. As soon as I'm done, when I'm completely done, I don't even have to be done. I don't have to be finished the project, but when I have some text and some material and some content on here, I'm going to go right up here to publish. When I click on publish, it's going to give me the site location, who can visit the site, anyone at NPEN in our domain, or anyone on the web. Once you choose that, you're going to be able to publish and you're off and running. That's it. That's a quick run through of Google Sites. Thank you for spending some time here. Good luck. Enjoy Google Sites. Bye-bye.